cooking, we cooking,
We cooking, we cooking, we cooking, we cooking.
we cooking, everybody's cooking.
We cooking, we cooking, we cooking, we cooking. We promote local agriculture and local business. We cooking, we cooking, we cooking, we cooking. We support local fishermen and local businesses. We cooking, we cooking, we cooking, we cooking. We cooking.
Greetings! Welcome again to We Cooking Eclectic Vinci Cuisine with Chef Darielle Ambrose.
Pleased to be here.
Chef, what you gonna do for us today?
Well, I have something pretty nice whipped up for you guys. I'll be serving a cinnamon and pumpkin cream soup and also a provision chip medley that will be accompanied by a stive, saltfish, and cream cheese dip.
Right, it sounds all delicious. Now remember, We Cooking encourages the use of 100% local products, but sometimes we can't meet that need. That's because we do get some imports here. Fortunately though, we're striving to be 100% local. So just stick around with us and bear with us and learn some great things from our chef, Darielle Ambrose, right here on We Cooking Eclectic Vinci Cuisine.
Bless.
Right back.
Welcome back, guys. We're cooking. Chef Ambrose here, and we're gonna get started. As you can see, I have my lovely baguettes here, and they would be like a kind of nitpick with this soup. Like I said before, it's a cinnamon and pumpkin cream soup. And if you just follow me over at the stove, we're gonna get started. All right, so we're over here now. My pot is already searing hot. I'm going to just take it off for a little while. You can see the steam. Meanwhile, it's cooling down. As you can see, my wok over here is my frying mechanism for my provision chip medley. So let me add some coconut oil, which is the oil that we're using here on We Cooking. Just gonna basically cover the base of the pan. Alright, we don't want too much in it because then we don't want our soup to be oily. Now, in this soup, I'm going to add my mirepoix. If you haven't looked at other episodes, a mirepoix is basically your celery stalk, your carrots, and your onions. We're using local celery, so we're just using the stems of that. Now, I normally put them in order, right? So, I just tell you I'm going to put them in order. I'm putting the celery, sorry. But yeah, I'm going to add the carrots first. Then, my celery stalk. Then my onions. Alright. So, if you realize by now I already hate using utensils, I rather saute them up myself. So we're gonna let these sweat for a little bit, let the flavors and everything come out, and then I would add my pumpkin. So I already add my pumpkins into my this is more like your sauté pot. Not necessarily a soup pot, but it's fine, it works. Alright, as you can see, just letting it sweat so that those flavors could come out as well. Meanwhile it's sweating, I'll show you again my sachet bag, or you can also use a bouquet garni, which are your aromats. You have your bay leaves, your black peppercorn, your garlic clove, your thyme, and also make sure if you don't have a cheesecloth, you could use a very thick J-cloth, because if you use a thin one, obviously you know the material from this is going into your food and it will be a physical hazard. You don't want that, right? After all, we are cooking healthy and we're eating healthy. Don't want to kill ourselves now, right? So we're gonna basically with this very tight knot, and I am going to cut it. It's not as pretty as the one I did before, but it's kind of cute. So I'm going to add some hot water to this. Right now we don't want to add too much water, just enough so we can cook the pumpkin. And now we're going to put in our sachet bag. And we are going to put some cinnamon sticks, right? You don't need a whole lot because, as we all know, cinnamon spice is pretty strong and we don't want it to overpower the actual flavors of the pumpkin. Now, if you notice, I have my mirepoix with my pumpkin as well. Yes, it's going to be a pureed soup, and I want the flavors of the celery, onions, carrots to also be infused in the actual soup. So, I'm going to add my cinnamon in here, and I really like thyme, so I'm going to put an extra sprig of thyme in the actual soup. Of course, right before I puree, I would, discard of the sachet bag, the cinnamon stick, and the thyme. So there you have it, not much liquid in there. And I'm going to cover this so that more heat could circulate. Cook my pumpkin. As soon as that's cooked, I know for a fact, yeah, we're looking good. Right before I move on to something else, I have here some pumpkin seeds from our locally grown pumpkin. Let me just throw that in again. And what I did with these, you can put them in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit and toast them, drizzle a little bit of coconut oil, season lightly, salt, black pepper, and even add a touch of honey so it has a sort of sweetness to your soup. This is more like your crunch factor when you're sipping on that nice soup, and it's a good garnish as well. Alright, so we're back at our baguette station and we are going to do some crostini-like slices of bread. So in my mind, I'm thinking, right, normally you would drizzle, your coconut oil and you give it a nice presentation and what have you and bake it. But if I do it now, the air obviously would kind of crisp it up any which way. So this is me allowing nature to do my cooking for me. And believe you me, this will crisp up for our guests. And this is what I'll be presenting it or them in. I'll leave them to air dry here for a little bit. Oh, just a tip, if you're at home and you have a lot of flies around your area and they have somehow invaded your kitchen, you could get some warm water with vinegar inside of it. You just wipe your table, your countertops, and wipe all over, and miraculously they're just flying about and like, nah, this ain't taste right, man, I gone, and just fly out and you'll be good to go. Alright? And what you could do after you slice, you could kind of open them up a bit so it crisp up even faster. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to spread these out on the cutting board, let them air dry, and then present them in a fancy glass. Alright, they should be good. Set them aside, and now I'm going to set up the ingredients for my provision medley.
CK Graves and Company is the number one supermarket for 100% Vincention supermarket. We've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. Oh yes, we're number one, CK Graves and Company, and we are Vincention, a supermarket for you and me.
As you can see, I have my ground provision here, and I'm going to add beets to this to add a little bit more color. Right, so of course I'll be frying with coconut oil. Remember, that's the only oil that we're using. And in order for these provisions to be sliced so thinly, though I could use a knife, yes, but it would be very time consuming. I have here my personal mandolin, one of my gadgets. Have them submerged in water as well, because it breaks down the starch content, which would allow the provision to fry and crisp up really nice. And normally you could do this the day before, have water in it submerged. Obviously you keep changing the water, and it will give you really nice crisp provision chips. While frying, I'll be doing my cream cheese, saltfish and side dip, side chive, potato, same thing, tomato, same thing. Right, so I have these elements here, and I have my cream cheese as well. So what I'm going to do is strain. I'll get rid of the water as much as possible. My heat here for my provision should be okay, so I am going to first throw in my dasheen chips, then my potato chips, then my sweet potato chips, and then my beetroot chips, because it's red, and you know the color from that will go into the oil, and then everybody looking red. I mean, I like red, but not like that, you know. Still want to see the differentiation. So, getting that nice sizzle. Try your best to separate them before adding. You're basically trying to separate these chips, because if you don't, then you know they'll stick together. Alright, so I already have my dasheen chips going. I covered it so that I'll try and get as much heat as possible. If you have a slow burner on your stove such as mine, yeah, you try this method, it should work out quite fine, because you know when you're using an industrialized large fryer, or even if you have a small fryer at home, like I said, it has to be a certain temperature, so that amount of heat will fry, cook, crisp it in a matter of seconds to a minute, depending on how thick or thin you slice your ground provision. Right, so my soup, you see that steam? Smells nice, right? Smelling a lot of that cinnamon. I am now going to discard of my sachet bag. Remember, I'm not applying too much pressure to this, because I don't want the actual material going into my soup. Discarding it, such. And my 2 cinnamon sticks. Always remember the amount of cinnamon sticks you add into something, because you might take out 2 when there's 3, and then you blend and you're like, oh crap. Alright, so I'm going to turn this off, let it cool for a little bit, blend, add my cream, bring it back up to a heat, and flavor it a little bit more, rectify the taste. And let me take the lid off of this one, and they actually feel like, you know, they're getting somewhere. Right? The reason why I'm frying separately as well, each provision has a different starch content. So if I fry dasheen chips as well as potato chips, the potato chips might fry quicker than the dasheen chips, right? Sweet potatoes as well will take longer than the actual locally grown potatoes. Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead and blend this pumpkin. It's safe for me to do it like this because I'm going to add the cream, and the cream as well has a lower temperature, not higher, because the higher you go, the hotter it gets. Alright, I'm just gonna head in the back here and start blending my soup. Right, so I blended my soup already. I'm a little clumsy person, so I already kind of smudged my jacket a little bit with some pumpkin soup, but it's fine. As you can hear, the sizzling action going on. It's my chips. Oh, it's actually ready. Right, you see that putting another pot as a lid over your wok, if you have one, it actually helps because it increases the heat, so it will fry a bit better. Alright? So I'm gonna start on my dip. What I have in the bowl already is some natural plain yogurt, locally produced as well. And I also have here some mayonnaise just to stretch the cream cheese a bit because it will be a bit difficult to whisk this. I mean, I'm strong, but I don't want to waste my energy on this. So what I did with the cream cheese, I left it to room temperature, and I'm adding an entire pack to this. Now when you add the yogurt and the, the mayo, you don't want to add too much to take away the actual taste of the cream cheese. Remember, you're just adding to stretch the cream cheese as it is. You're trying to get it as smooth as possible. You can see here, it's really coming in nice. Notice I don't have any black pepper or salt here. It's because I kind of rehydrated the saltfish in such a way that it would add salt and flavor to my dip. Now, a lot of people boil saltfish. I don't. What I do, I rinse it till all the visible salt that is on the saltfish kind of comes away while rinsing. Then I would shred. I would have boiled water. I would more like poach it in that water in a bowl, leave it for a bit, strain it again, rinse it, shred it some more, and add a little bit of sugar to it because, you know, sugar balances out the salt content of something, and let it sit in that hot water, rinse it again, taste, make sure it's at the right consistency, and that's it. I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of saltfish, 4 tablespoons. You don't like saltfish? Come on. Plus some people. So we're gonna whisk that in. And remember, it's a main ingredient in your dip, so you don't want to add too little, but at the same time you don't want to add too much so that it overpowers the cream cheese or even the side. The side I'll add last, seeing that it's an herb and you want that bright color from the side of itself to pop out of the dip. Whisk in, make sure it's well incorporated, as you can see here. You don't want to over whisk as well because it might start to powder a little bit, as you can see. So I won't spend too much longer on it. I'll add in my side. At this point, I think I'll stop using the whisk. I'll use my rubber spatula here now. Fold it in. And then plate up and put this in the fridge so it stays chilled and nice. And you realize it's not as thick, and also remember when you're slicing your chips, you would want to slice it at a thinness or thickness so that it will be able to pick up the dip. You don't want to have thinly sliced chips and then you break by the time you pick up the dip. Defeats the purpose. Alright, so I have my dip there. And I rehydrate the side because she looks like she had a bit about enough from the show. Alright, so I'm just gonna stick that one right in the middle there. Give her a little swag. See, she got a little swag going on. Right. And pop it in the refrigerator. I'm gonna check my beetroot, make sure I fry up all my provisions. We're gonna take a break because we did so much in this break. And when we come back, we'll plate up, make sure everything is ready, and yeah, that's about it. We'll be right back.
CK Graves and Company is the number one supermarket for 100% Vincentian. Vincentian Supermarket. We've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. Oh yes, we're number one, CK Graves and Company, and we are Vincentian, a supermarket for you and me.
products that we're now going to plate up. So I have here my cinnamon, my cream cinnamon and pumpkin soup, and also a reason why I wanted it this consistency so that when I add my toasted seeds, they would actually stay on top and not go diving into my soup. And remember these same crostinis, well they're not crostini crunchy type, but they got a crunch factor to them, not too hard, you know, inside is still a bit soft, so probably my guests might like it like that. So I'm just going to place some inside my glass here. Now I'm going to basically throw the chips around at the base. Welcome back, guys. Alright, this is the closing or the ending of it all when everybody, well, my two lovely guests get to try out what I've done. Just to give you a heads up again, I've fried some provision medley chips, and I have a cream cheese side and saltfish dip. By the way, I tell you, we are cooking. I said, right? Oh yeah, of course, we are. Come on now, right? And also, I have my cinnamon and pumpkin cream soup, which I hope that they would love. And I think that's what we're going to start off with today. By the way, you know, I saw many people on them. I didn't even let them introduce themselves. They know me already. All right, so take it away.
I'm Dee.
And I'm Raul, and we are on We Cooking.
There we go. All right. So
I'm anxious. It's very delicious.
right. And cautioning you, you know, those are actual pumpkin seeds. So they add a little crunch factor to it, and you have your baguettes here. That if you feel more comfortable dipping your bread in your soup, then by all means.
I'm definitely tasting the cinnamon in this curry.
Awesome.
Tasty.
Yeah, it's creamy. I love the smoothness of it too, you know? It's
And
really smooth.
it's not watery, it's nice, thick.
Yeah. No, you have to try the bread. Hold on.
Wait, there's bread. I thought we just eat all of it. Crispy, like a spoon. Let's do this. The cream filling. Nice. Remember, this is We Cooking, huh? We Cooking, and we cook it good.
And this is awesome. Like, this is the best thing ever. The best show ever in St. Vincent. Listen, you could get your degree in cooking just by watching We Cooking.
Alright, so let's try our provision chip medley with the side, cream cheese, and saltfish dip. Bon appetit.
Thank you.
Where do we begin?
Where do we start, right?
Make sure you get some of the green on it. See that?
Yeah, all that
The saltfish.
Sorry, I just went up on a tangent there, boy.
By the way, if you could pick up the crunch that Raul is really gunning down on this chip, I mean.
The onion, the thyme, the cream.
Something about this is healthy.
Only on We Cooking, guys. You all have to check this out. You definitely have to check this out.
This is really good.
Alright, so it's really good that my guests are loving the health aspect of cooking and eating.
We're done?
No, I'm just talking a little bit more, expounding on the stress that it is healthy food that we're cooking here, and they're enjoying it. They're still going at it. Normally somebody would try it. Oh, this is good, you know, well, you know what, I hit the road. No, they're loving it. Happy that they're loving it. Let me just leave it. I see Raul going off on planet Pluto, so let me just leave him for a while.
More time to consume, less time to talk. We Cooking. You see it nowhere else but on We Cooking. Oh, my name is Raul, and you see me post on We Cooking.
Greetings! Welcome back to We Cooking Eclectic Vinci Cuisine. This is the final part. You saw how much our guests enjoyed Darielle's pumpkin soup.
Yes.
I was in the background doing the same thing too, man. It was just lovely. This is one of the local products that you could see how you could turn something so simple as pumpkin into something so delicious and fancy. So I want to thank Chef Ambrose and our guests that she brought here.
Yes, can't forget again to thank Raul and Diana for having, you know, my little treats and sipping on some soup, crunching on some chips. Really enjoyed and grateful that you were here. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's how it is on We Cooking Eclectic Vincy Cuisine. Remember, support local, buy local, eat local. Right here on We
Yes.
Cooking Eclectic Vincy Cuisine. See you again.